Hey guys, what's up? Otaku Mike here, doing another manga first impressions video. What are we doing our manga first impressions on? Well, we are doing our impression on My Boy Volume 1 by Takano. Hitomi Takano. I hope I said that right, because I mispronounced a lot of Japanese names. So, our story starts out with a woman named Satoko. I believe that's how you say her name. Satoko? I believe that's how it is. Satoko Suwada, or I think it's Suwada. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. She's going about her day, day or life basically, and she doesn't seem to really have any motivation whatsoever. You get the sense, and she says it in the beginning, that, she basically seems to have no real drive in her life. It's been a few years since she's had a relationship with anybody. Her last relationship ended very horribly. You get the sense that there might have been some kind of abuse within the first volume. Not 100% sure on that. So she's going about her day-to-day life. And she goes to work, comes home, goes to work, comes home type of thing. That's really her thing. And she doesn't really have any real social life, it seems like. She doesn't go out to drinks with people from work. Her former boyfriend is her boss. He's constantly asking her out for drinks. She's declining. One day on the way to work, she sees this child practicing soccer, and she's like, oh, that's weird, like, kid practicing soccer, not very good. I see this kid a lot. She's like, I think she said, I see this kid quite a bit, and they're not improving, or something like that. And she goes to work, then on her way home, in the park, she goes home, and she wants to go get some beer. And she goes get some beer, and then she walks on her way home past through the park. She sees the same kid, and an older man is with this kid, and this red flag goes off in her head, and she's like, child predator, basically, because throughout the first the first chapter, you hear inklings or news reports of child predators, basically, or or horrible things that happen, type of thing from news reports. And she's like, oh no, child predator, child trafficking, whatever type of thing. She's like, hey, 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 you, and he's like, huh? Like, what? She's like the kid's like, what? And the old creepy guy takes off. She's like, hey, do you know that guy? And he's like, no, but he said he was sick and he needs help or something like that. And she's like, normally when people are sick and need help, don't run off when they're confronted. And the kid's like, oh, okay. And she's like, what are you doing out here? And the kid's like, oh, I'm practicing soccer. And she notices that the kid's very beautiful, and she's like, Satoka is basically like, oh, are you on the girls team? And the kid's like, I'm a boy. And she's like, what? You're a boy? And this is when we meet Mashu, our other character in the book. I'll show you guys some of the panels. I really like the artwork. It's very, very nice. Very well done. So, they start to build a relationship, more of a friendship at this point in the book. She teaches him how to dribble the ball in practice every day. So practice after work and stuff like that. She takes him to his soccer games, even though he doesn't make first string in the soccer tournament, in the soccer team. There's some artwork. She goes and he cheers on the soccer team, so adorable. Mashu is pretty cute for a boy. And she's like, oh, like, what did your dad say? Like, dad doesn't care. Dad doesn't care about basically what's going on in Mashu's life, really. Mom, don't really know anything about the mom. He only says mom's not around. Dad works a lot. So after spending time with Mashu, Satoka starts to put two and two together that Mashu is being Mashu is being neglected basically by his parents, from what it seems like within the first volume of this, and she starts to look after him. One part that I really thought was a really touching moment was when she takes him to a conveyor belt sushi restaurant, which was because he never had real sushi before. So there's a part later on where she takes him to a sushi restaurant. Here's some of the stuff where she takes him to the sushi restaurant, and so they form this friendship, and then towards later on in the book, it seems like something's going on with Mashu. It seems like he wants to tell her something, but we don't exactly get that in this first book. I'm going to continue reading this book. I felt like the first volume was very well done. I love the artwork. I like the characters. It kept me interested. I want to see where this goes, because right now it's kind of a more maternal relationship almost. Like, she's looking after him. They basically kind of help each other almost, like, because they're both have loneliness and they're both very lonely, and they kind of complement each other almost. Like, they help each other out with stuff within their lives. I'm interested to see if this turns out to be something more. Like, will it go from more of a maternal thing to more of like a relationship thing? Like, will this go into like the age gap romance type of thing, where she starts to have feelings for Mashu and stuff like that? I'm wondering this because at one point, one of her coworkers says, "Hey, why are you rushing out so early from work?" And he's like, "Oh, you got a boyfriend?" The first thing that pops into her head is Mashu, which she kind of finds kind of weird. So I'm interested to see if this goes to that taboo area where do they form a romantic relationship, or will it just stay the more maternal / friendship area? So yeah, that drives me to find out more and read more about this book. This is definitely a very, very well told story. Got a little emotional, honestly, and I can't wait to read more. Big shout out to that manga kid for pointing me in this direction. Go check out his channel and go check out his review of it, because that's how it ended up on my radar. So thanks a lot. I'm Otaku Mike. I will catch you guys later. Peace out, guys. Go check out My Boy if you're interested. It's a fun read. It's interesting. Check it out.